I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out.
That nigga ever pull my car ever in life. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on business.
So, King Harris is officially a dad now, huh? Things are heating up already. He and his girlfriend, Janeeja Nana Epps, just welcomed a baby boy. How exciting. And Tiny shared all the cute baby shower moments, like she's just itching to spoil that grandbaby silly. Hold on a second. When T.I. first shared the news about King expecting his first child, everyone was talking about it. People were tossing around all sorts of guesses. I can't help but think that Nana might be more interested in King's money than in him, you know? Looks like King's about to find out the hard way, huh? Yeah, it really seems like he's already on a downward spiral. It's getting really intense out here, you know? Alright, let's take a closer look at everything. King Harris dropped some exciting news for his fans on November 5th. He took to Instagram to share a heartfelt message in a new song he wrote for his son called Dear Son. In it, he reflects on how he needs to take it easy now that he's a dad. One line really caught my attention. You a junior, so you know you're your daddy's son. Alright, let's spill the tea. Ty was the first to casually mention back in August that King was expecting. Oh, and guess what? He also mentioned that Damani has a daughter now, which means this baby is T.I. and Tiny's third grandchild. Hey, just a quick reminder that Zonika welcomed her little girl in 2020.
He just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm going to make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
So, even though T.I. was making jokes about raising King's baby to tease him, fans weren't buying it. It was pretty clear he wasn't exactly thrilled about what was going on, so I've heard that it's all due to King's baby mama, Nana. So it seems like she's older and could be more into King's money than King as a person. T.I. even told King to keep an eye out for himself, but this is where things get interesting. T.I. seems to have let it slip that King wasn't really thrilled about the idea of keeping the baby at first. Can you believe who convinced him to do it? Yep, it's T.I. himself. Oh, you bet the internet had a blast with that. People were dishing out shade all over the place. There's this user on X. So Twitter used to say that King Harris got someone pregnant. The last time I saw him, he was struggling to spell Tamara. Someone else chimed in saying she doesn't seem the least bit interested in him, and there's just no chemistry between them. Just a solid way to get a meal. While the comments about their age are just harsh. Some folks were chatting about how she looks 30 and he looks 13, but not everything was meant to be shady. A few fans were really supportive. It's like someone mentioned how much more handsome he looks with that hair color and cut, especially with that lovely chocolate lady by his side. Another joined the conversation. Wow, some of these comments are really bad. Let's hope that he steps up and improves his behavior now that he's about to become a dad. There's this other idea going around that King might have gotten into this situation to prove a point, to demonstrate to T.I. what it truly means to be a real dad. Wow, if that's the case, that's quite a daring choice. But you know, King always goes all out. If you've been keeping up with the whole situation between King and his parents, you know it's been quite the ride. King's always making the news, whether it's getting caught with weed, having a public brawl, or just acting out in general. Their quote, so it's always something happening when he's around. So back in 2022, King Harris had a little run-in with a Waffle House employee over pickles on his food. He wasn't too happy about it since he didn't ask for them. He recorded everything, going a bit crazy, and even challenged the employees to step outside if they were up for a fight. About pickles, fans weren't too happy and felt he acted like a spoiled kid, making things tougher for those just trying to do their jobs.
This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Stop talking to him, please.
Who the hell is he?
A person that works.
What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
T.I. hopped on Instagram Live to chat about what was going on.
I mean, of course I spoke to my son. You know, me and his uncles. You know, we were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with a short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who is at such another level of life. Now, I had to explain to him that, you know, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury, and you know, people gonna posture themselves a certain way. So therefore, you're gonna have to enjoy your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life.
Absolutely. Fans weren't too thrilled with this response, as someone pointed it out and said, wow, so you think people aren't happy with their lives just because they don't have famous parents? I mean, what has he really done to deserve his status besides getting into trouble? Can you believe it? That was just the beginning of King's antics in September 2023. King faced some backlash online for giving a homeless man $50 to take on the one chip challenge. Hey, have you heard about that viral dare where you munch on this super spicy chip and then have to hold off on drinking water for 5 minutes? It's wild. The man was obviously having a tough time and really needed water, but King just kept urging him to keep going.
There's a different flavor, but it's still hot. So look, there you go, $50, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Oh,
You gotta eat the whole thing.
oh,
Damn.
out here.
Eat the whole chip. The 5 minutes ain't gonna start until you swallow it now. You gotta swallow that.
Ain't nothing in there, huh? Ain't nothing in there. Let me see. Nah, ain't nothing in here. All right, come on. Come on, OG. Open your mouth when you swallow it.
And that's the new kind.
Yeah, this I ain't never seen this. Ooh-wee.
How you feeling?
It's alright. It ain't hot.
Nah, you can't drink no
You can't drink it yet though. You can't drink it yet though. You gotta wait 5 minutes. If you need some milk, whatever you need after you lose, I'll buy it for you. But you know what I'm saying? Is it hot?
No.
It's hot?
No. Oh, God.
Oh, wait.
Man, that probably a snap for man.
So in the end, the guy didn't show up, and King ended up giving him $20 as a little consolation prize, but folks weren't really into it. It really seemed like a risky move, especially considering those chips had already been banned after a kid lost his life trying the same challenge. Fans are calling King out for putting someone at risk just for a laugh, so a few months later he was back in the spotlight after a big argument with his parents at an Atlanta Falcons game, and naturally it all unfolded on IG Live. What's the argument about? Let's chat about their unique upbringings. T.I. started from scratch, while King has been enjoying a life of luxury. King really didn't like being called spoiled, especially when folks mentioned he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. The live starts with T.I. throwing King a classic throwback question. You ever wake up with a roach on your face? Tiny jumped in as well, sharing some juicy details, mentioning that King was still using a pacifier at 12 and would throw tantrums when things didn't go his way. King definitely wasn't going to just let that go. He began shouting, "I stand on business." It was like he was trying out for a role in an action movie. T.I. didn't hold back and told King he was just making a fool of himself and embarrassing the whole family with that fake tough guy act.
Have you ever woke up with a roach on your face?
Here. No, that's not the goal.
All right, then. Man, go.
Or in your ear.
I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
had in the neighborhood with me that broke up with roach in your ear. Y'all want to go to the bando in my neighborhood? Do y'all want to go to the bando? Do y'all want to go to the bando? To make him look better, he said he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Sip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath
Every
and
day.
throw tantrums to go over there.
I don't want to be in these gates. I want to be outside in the neighborhood. That's why I want to be over there. But they don't understand
No,
that.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why he want to be over there. Y'all ready? Cause he can suck and pacify over there. He was 12 years old. He was suck and pacify. He was 12 years old. He couldn't do that in the house.
You cried like a baby. Hold your breath.
Yeah.
They trying to say I was over there trying to suck a passy, but they ain't gonna tell you everything like that.
Yeah,
They trying to hide it.
Ain't nobody hiding
Sugarcoat it. He capping. He capping.
Hey,
He know I stand on business. He know that. Can't no nigga ever pull my car ever in life. I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood, I stand on
I don't
business.
feel like you stand on business.
Yeah.
I've
I've been stood on business. I've been stood on business. You want to hide it for the world, I'm going to put it out there for them to see.
Hey, man,
I want to put up nowhere. You ain't had me put up nowhere. Like, you ain't had me behind the mansion. I was outside doing what I wanted to do. Like, what?
You was behind that till you cried.
No, I got too much to drink. I drunk too much. Drunk too much. Let's go. Just get mad because we say the South ain't the suburbs. Then he want to talk about some other.
Things really escalated when the argument got physical. T.I. put King in a headlock to show him who's in charge and to ask for a little respect.
You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that? No, ain't no joking. Ain't no joking. What do you mean?
You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, get off me.
Man, what is you talking
Man, get
about?
off me. Like, what the fuck? Man, get off me.
But you can't do nothing with me.
But King had more to say. After the live, he went on a full-blown Instagram rant, calling out T.I. and saying, I don't give a F who you are. No one can hang out with me in my face. I'm not really into that. I'm a grown man now. He went on to say, I'm not pretending to be someone. I'm not for the internet, Dot. If I messed up, just let me know. Stop giving the impression that you're on my side when you really aren't. Oh, and he definitely made it a point to remind everyone that I stand on business. I really don't care who you are. Jump ahead to October 2024, and King was in even deeper trouble now with the law. He was just leaving the gas station when he nearly ran into a cop. The officer stopped him, and things took a quick turn when the cop caught a whiff of something off and spotted a gun on King's hip. So when the cop checked King's info, it just made everything worse. So it turns out he had a warrant in Pickens County because he missed a court date for some old vehicle violations. The officer who made the arrest noted in his report that he told I told Harris that I needed to chat with him outside, so I opened the driver's side door. Mr. Harris was really easygoing and I took the firearm off his hip without any problems. I asked Mr. Harris to step out of the vehicle and then I put handcuffs on him to detain him. I took Mr. Harris over to my patrol car, gave him a quick pat down, and then helped him into the back seat of my vehicle. King had company though. He was with 2 other guys, but it was just him who ended up getting arrested. One of the other passengers ended up with just a citation. What's the deal with the warrant? So back in August 2022, King got into some trouble for speeding, driving with a suspended license, and being under the influence of drugs. Back then, T.I. mentioned on IG Live that if King keeps up his reckless ways, he's going to find himself in prison. He made it clear that he's done everything he could.
I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's going to turn out. I trust in God to deal with it the way that he see fit.
As soon as the news about King's arrest came out, fans were quick to share their thoughts. Someone mentioned that he really wants to be a thug. Shaking my head, someone else jumped in and said this is the life he keeps choosing. His dad's trying to lend a hand, but he just keeps wanting to play the tough guy. Some folks figured T.I. might just let him figure it out on his own this time. Someone even said Tip's gonna let him chill in there too. So King eventually got released. You know, this isn't the first time T.I. has had to keep an eye on his son for acting like he's living in a rap video all the time. Hey, do you remember that viral moment when T.I. and Boozy had to have a little chat with their sons? The guys were out here showing off a gun on set during a music shoot just like in GTA. King attempted to respond, pointing out that owning a gun isn't against the law. Ty wasn't having any of it though, and came back with the classic dad line. Honestly, the way you're describing this lifestyle, it doesn't seem legit, my friend. But here's the deal. King's rocky relationship with his parents didn't just come out of the blue. It's been simmering for quite a while and it really ties back to his upbringing. Growing up in the Harris household, yeah, it was definitely not your typical experience. So when T.I. and Tiny discovered they were expecting King, T.I. was already facing some legal issues and was frequently in and out of prison. By 2009, when King was only 5 years old, he was already familiar with being in the spotlight. The family appeared on MTV's S Road to Redemption. Things changed when T.I. ended up back in jail just 45 days into the show, facing a year-long sentence for weapons charges. Once he was out, they dove right into another reality show, The Family Hustle, back in 2011. Throughout the years, King saw his parents deal with all sorts of drama. We got cheating scandals, breakups, makeups, everything you can think of.
And went and got a house somewhere else.
Because you started cheating. Yes, sir. For those who don't understand, Tip had some infidelities with a girl who I hired, and that girl is one of the reasons why I got my own house.
Growing up in that kind of environment and having it all captured on camera is really challenging for any kid. It makes sense that King began to act out. Back in 2019, when he was just 14, he shared something with T.I. and Tiny. He was looking to kick off a music career. Tiny didn't offer support. Instead, he really went after him. Even when King mentioned feeling overwhelmed, she just waved it away, saying it's all part of the business. It sure is. You could see King getting a bit emotional, but Tiny just kept going.
It's not, because you would feel the same way.
It is you. My point is, you are f***ing up your own.
No.
You are, dude, because this is big for you.
Why are you yelling?
Because you're sitting here crying.
No, this is not the
You
business.
gonna be crying every goddamn show you get. Please tell him what's going on.
Bro. Come on, it's all right. My bad. Come on.
In another episode, King wondered if he could be homeschooled to really dive into making music, but his parents put a stop to it right away. T.I. straight up told him that he hadn't done enough to justify dropping out and going after a music career. You know how folks always tease King for trying to act all tough when he's not really living that life? So a few years back, he finally decided to share his side of the story. He says that even though his parents had money, he grew up in the hood with his grandma, who was the one raising him. He mentioned that T.I. and Tiny weren't really interested in hanging out with him when he was younger. He only got to visit their gated mansion when they needed him for an episode of The Family Hustle. As soon as the cameras started rolling, they acted like the perfect family. But once filming was done, King mentioned he'd be heading straight back to his grandma's place in the middle of the neighborhood.
Yeah, man, it's a lot about that TV show, man, that got people confused. Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like the weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house.
Initially, folks thought King was just putting on a tough act, but when fans started looking into it, it turned out he was actually telling the truth. Zonique, his sister, totally agreed with him, sharing that she felt the same way while growing up. T.I. and Tiny seemed to be more into each other than their kids. So you know, it's safe to say T.I. and Tiny aren't really in the running for Parent of the Year, right? So it seems like some people are saying T.I. is more excited about King's baby than King is. Why is that? He views it as an opportunity to raise his grandchild the right way. So T.I. actually planned the entire baby shower and had to convince King to come along because he wasn't really into it. So here's the thing, T.I. wasn't too thrilled when he first learned that King had gotten someone pregnant. So it turns out that he really let loose on Big Nana, who is King's baby mama. He was accusing her of taking advantage of King since she's older and should have been more responsible. He even called King dumb for getting caught up. T.I. made it pretty clear that Nana won't be getting her hands on the family's money. He straight up told her that it's King's job to take care of the baby, not his. Fans definitely have plenty to share about this, right? Some people believe T.I. is just trying to guide King away from repeating his own mistakes, while others argue that since King has been so vocal about not needing his dad, he now has to take responsibility and learn how to parent without relying on T.I.'s financial support. It seems like King's about to get a serious lesson in adulthood, and honestly, it looks like he might be jumping right into that hood life he's always talking about. I'm curious to see how he deals with things when it's not just a good time. So what do you all think about Nana and King kicking off this new family adventure? Do you think she's really just after the money, or is it more about love for her? I'd love to hear what you think. Share your thoughts in the comments below.